now we're going to talk about cylinders, and these are brand new for 7th grade. So a cylinder is kind of like a soup can or like an animal food can, soda can. Those are all cylinders where the top and the bottom, or the base and the top, are both circles. And then that curved feature is actually just a rectangle. And we'll show you the net of that in class. So you guys talked about circles last year in 6th grade though, so you know that a circle has a radius, which is in the middle of the circle to the outer edge. So that's your radius. If you went the whole way across, that would be your diameter, and your diameter is double your radius. Your radius is half your diameter. Okay, the H stands for height. So when we're talking about volume of a cylinder, we're going to use the formula pi times the radius squared times the height. You guys talked about pi last year as well. Pi equals 3.14159, and it keeps going and going and going. But when we're doing a math problem, we're not going to use the pi button on the calculator. We're just going to type in 3.14. So anytime that you see pi for a math problem, you're just going to type in 3.14. For surface area, that formula is 2 times pi times the radius squared plus 2 times pi times the radius times the height. I know it seems long, but if you're writing down the formula, you're plugging in the numbers, then you're doing the math calculations. It's not hard, it's just time consuming. But I want you to take your time, do not rush so that you get it correct. So on your paper, again, I want you to write down volume underneath of where it says surface area. We're going to do the volume formula first. If you don't have room on your paper, then use a separate sheet of paper. You may run out of room for this one. So volume, we're going to try to do it here. Hopefully we'll have space. So again, volume equals pi times the radius squared times height. Okay, we know that 4 is our radius, 6 is our height. So now I'm just going to start plugging in the numbers. And I'm not going to change pi to 3.14 because that's something that we're just going to know. Our radius is 4, and then we can't forget to square it. Our height is 6. So now we're going to multiply. 4 squared does not give us 8. 4 squared is 16 because it means 4 times 4. So now we're going to have to do pi times 16 times 6. And that's going to give us 301.44. And that's going to be inches cubed. So that's going to be our volume for this particular cylinder. So 301.44 inches cubed. And again, surface area is a much longer formula, but you still have to write the formula. So the surface area of a cylinder is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi RH. And remember, when you have numbers and letters and symbols all beside each other with no operation in the middle, it means to multiply. So now we're going to plug in the numbers. Our radius from the picture is 4, and we can't forget to square it. And again, I'm not changing pi, I'm going to leave that, but we know when we're typing in the calculator, we're going to use 3.14. Our radius is 4, and our height is 6. So all I've done is written the formula, because you always have to do that first. Then you're plugging in the numbers from the picture. And sometimes you're not going to be given a picture, but you'll be told that the radius is this, the height is this, or the diameter is this, and then you have to find the radius. So now we're going to go ahead and simplify the 2 parts of this formula. So 2 times pi times, I know 4 squared is 16, so I'm multiplying 2 times 3.14 times 16, and I get 100.14. Again, do not forget to square the radius. Okay, now I'm going to do the second part of the surface area formula. And I'm going to type in my calculator 2 times 3.14 times 4 times 6. And I get 150.72. So now that we have those two parts, we just have to add them together. And we get 251.2. And my smartboard's being crazy like normal. So 251 point, oh my goodness. Ignore that. Y'all know how my board is, it's crazy. 251, why does it not want me to write the board? 0.2. Okay, so I'm not going to write it there because my board's being crazy. So we know that the surface area is 200, oh my goodness. I have to recalibrate for the next video. 251.2 inches squared. Okay? And we're not going to do 7 and 8. I'm going to go ahead and do number 6 as well. And I'm just going to erase this so that we can see it a little bit better. So our volume formula equals pi r squared h. Then I plug in my numbers. So I've got pi, and then my radius in this case is 2 and my height is 6. So 2 squared, and we cannot forget to square the radius. So then volume equals pi times 4 times 6, because 2 times 2 is 4. And so now we're going to multiply 3.14 times 4 times 6. And we get 75.36 centimeters cubed. And make sure you write volume. So 75.36 centimeters cubed. Okay, and again, if you have questions, pause the video, go back and rewatch, ask questions in class. So now we're going to do surface area, again, longer formula, but you still have to write the formula. So 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi RH. So now we're just going to plug in numbers. And you know, since we already did the r squared, we know that from our volume, r squared, 2 squared was just 4. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in 4 since we already got that from our volume formula. And then our radius is 2, so I'm putting a 2 where the r is. Our height is 6, so I'm putting a 6 where the h is. So now I'm just going to go through and simplify each part of the formula. So the first part of the formula is 2 times 3.14 times 4. And so we get 25.12. Our second part of the formula is 2 times 3.14 times 2 times 6. And we get 75.36. And so now that we have those two parts, we just have to add them together. So you would get 100.48, and let's see. Oh, we got inches and centimeters. Okay, well, we're not going to worry about that. So 100.48 is our surface area. Okay, so now what I want you to do is to try 7 and 8, and you may have to do that for homework depending on time, but we'll talk about them next class.